You'll never make $10,000 a month until you understand this. This is Sarah. She graduated top of her class with a business degree from a well-respected university. She did everything right: internships, a strong GPA, a polished resume. Her reward was a starting job paying $4,890 a month, a stack of student loans she'll be paying off for the next decade, and a quiet, growing fear that her role could be automated within a few years. That number isn't made up. It's close to the national average starting salary for bachelor's degree graduates right now, in 2026. So if Sarah did everything she was told to do and still fell short of $10,000 a month, surely that number is out of reach for most people. Right, not even close. This is Marcus. He dropped out of a community college program after 2 semesters because, in his words, it felt like memorizing answers to questions nobody was actually asking. He had no connections, no capital, and no clear plan. But he started paying close attention to something most people ignore completely, where money was actually moving online, in real time. Today, Marcus brings in over $14,000 a month. No debt, no boss, no fear of AI taking his income, because he's using it to multiply it. Sarah represents the path almost everyone is told to follow. Marcus represents something else entirely, something with a name. He became what I call a digital architect, and once you understand what that actually means, you'll see why it's quietly become the single most reliable way for an ordinary person to build a $10,000 a month income online. Without a degree, without a network, and without years of dues paying. Now, before anyone comes for me in the comments, I'm not saying university is worthless. It's genuinely necessary for a long list of careers. And if money isn't your main goal right now, that's a completely valid choice. But if you're aiming for $10,000 a month, and more than that, a life where your time actually belongs to you, then this video is going to walk you through exactly how to become a digital architect, step by step, starting today. Here's the first mistake almost everyone makes before they even start. They try to fix what they're bad at. That's exactly what school trains into us. Struggle with numbers, more math homework, hate speaking in front of people, forced presentations. It doesn't matter what you're naturally good at. The system flattens everyone into the same mold. And you can actually measure the damage this does. A well-known longitudinal study tracking creative thinking found that roughly 98% of 5-year-olds tested at genius level for divergent thinking, the ability to generate many original solutions to a single problem. By the time those same people reached adulthood, that number had collapsed to around 2%. Nobody lost their talent. It got trained out of them, one red pen mark at a time. So before you assume you don't have a natural advantage, let me introduce something I call the talent grid. Every single person, regardless of education, background, or age, fits into at least one of 4 categories. As I go through these, take a second and figure out which one sounds like you, because it's going to determine exactly what kind of digital architect you become. The organizer brings order to chaos, naturally good at systems, processes, and keeping moving parts from falling apart. The analyst breaks things down, spots patterns, tests assumptions, figures out what's actually working versus what just looks like it's working. The communicator explains things clearly, builds trust fast, and gets people to say yes. The creative sees connections other people miss, and comes up with angles nobody else considered. Got your category? Good. Hold on to it, because it's about to decide which of the next 5 paths is actually built for you. The fastest way to hit $10K a month online is by selling a digital service. But not just any service, one that does at least one of 3 things for business. Makes them more money, saves them time, or saves them money. Hit one of those and you get paid. Hit 2 and you become nearly impossible to replace. Here are the 5 highest leverage services right now and who each one is naturally built for. 1. Brand positioning. This isn't just logos and color palettes. It's shaping how a business is perceived, because perception is what allows a company to charge more for the exact same product. Think about why one bottle of water costs $1 and another costs 6, same product. Completely different perception. This service is a natural fit for the creative, who sees the visual story, and the organizer, who manages the deliverables and client expectations that keep a rebrand from spiraling into chaos. 2. AI workflow automation. This is exploding right now, and it's not slowing down. It involves building AI-powered systems that eliminate repetitive manual work, customer replies, scheduling, reporting, data entry. Every hour a business spends on a task a system could handle is money quietly leaking out the door. Fix that and you're saving time and money at once. Built for the analyst who spots the inefficiency and the organizer who builds the structured system to fix it. 3. Partnership brokering. No technical skill required here. You're the connector, linking businesses to sponsorships, collaborations, and deals they wouldn't have found on their own, and taking a commission or finder's fee for making it happen. This is the communicator's game, though the organizer thrives here too, juggling the follow-ups that make deals actually close. 4. Short-form content editing, not cutting clips for fun, editing video that actually grows an audience and drives sales. Businesses that show up consistently on video outperform the ones that don't. But most owners have zero time or skill to do it themselves. A good editor who understands pacing and what keeps people watching is genuinely rare. Built for the creative, with the analyst adding real value by studying what performs and why. 5. Conversion funnel building, the most directly tied to revenue of anything on this list. This is the landing pages, email sequences, and checkout flows that turn a stranger into a paying customer. A well-built funnel can double what a business earns from the exact same traffic they already have. Perfect for the organizer, who manages the moving parts, and the analyst, who tests and refines based on data instead of guesswork. None of these are just side hustles. Think of them as 5 different vehicles heading to the same destination. The specific one you pick matters less than picking one that fits your natural strengths, and then actually sticking with it. Here's the biggest lie young people are told: that learning has to happen before earning. 18 years of classroom time, and almost none of it ever gets tested against reality. If you actually want to hit $10K a month quickly, you need to be learning and earning at the same time. That's the skill maxing loop. 5 steps, repeated on a cycle, that I've used with 3 separate people who each hit 5 figures a month within a year of starting from 0. Step 1, define. Strip your service down to its simplest, most sellable version, not the polished dream version in your head. Most people overcomplicate this and never launch. Don't aim for build a creative agency. Aim for I edit videos for local businesses. 1 clear sentence. Step 2, sell, not tweak. Not learn more first, sell. This is where almost everyone hesitates, convinced they need more knowledge before they're allowed to charge money. You don't. Get in front of real businesses and offer the service. Expect a wall of no's. That's the process working, not failing. Somewhere in that wall is a yes. Step 3, deliver. This is where you actually get paid, and more importantly, where you actually get good. Practicing alone teaches you nothing close to what one real paying client will teach you in a single week. Deadlines create focus that free time never will. Step 4, fix. After a few deliveries, patterns emerge. What's working, what's slow, where the bottlenecks are hiding. This used to take years of trial and error to figure out. Now AI can help you spot and remove those bottlenecks in days, not years. Step 5, systemize. This is the step almost nobody takes seriously early on, and it's the one that determines whether you get repeat clients or start from 0 every single month. Late invoices, missed messages, and disorganized follow-ups quietly kill more service businesses than bad work ever does. The people who get paid the most aren't always the most talented. They are the ones who are reliably on time and easy to work with. Then the loop repeats, except now you're not starting from scratch, you're refining. Your pitch is sharper, your delivery is faster, your fixes target bigger problems, and each pass makes your service worth more. Here's something that shouldn't make sense, but absolutely does. 2 people can deliver the exact same service, to the exact same quality, and one of them gets paid 10 times more than the other. You're not paid based purely on how good you are. You're paid based on how you position what you do. A freelancer says, I design logos, simple, honest, and cheap sounding, because you're instantly competing on price against 1,000 other people saying the same thing. A digital architect says, I help businesses charge more by changing how customers perceive them. Same skill set, same hours of work, completely different value in the client's mind, because now you're not a cost, you're an investment. A freelancer says, I build AI chatbots. A digital architect says, I cut manual labor costs by automating your team's repetitive work. One sells a feature, the other sells a business outcome. A freelancer says, I build landing pages. A digital architect says, I turn the traffic you already have into paying customers. Same output, entirely different price tag. The shift is simple. Stop describing what you do and start describing what it does for them. Here's the part most people won't want to hear. Getting to $10K a month is one challenge. Getting to $20K, $50K, or beyond is a completely different one. And if you don't understand why, you'll hit that first ceiling and stay there. That's where building a visible personal brand comes in, not millions of followers. Just enough clarity that people instantly understand who you are, what you do, and why you're worth trusting the moment they land on your profile. Most people never do this. They spend all their energy cold messaging strangers, while their own profile says nothing about them. So every message gets ignored on site. Fix the profile first, and every message you send afterward works twice as hard. Sarah followed every rule she was given and still landed under $5,000 a month, with a mountain of debt attached to it. Marcus ignored the rulebook, figured out where value was actually being created online, and built past $10,000 a month with none of that weight on his back. The gap between them was never talent, and it was never luck. It was information, knowing which of these 5 services fits your natural strengths, running it through a loop that turns practice into paid experience, and positioning it in a way that gets you paid for outcomes instead of tasks. Pick your category, pick your service, start the loop today, because the version of you who starts this month is going to look back at the version of you scrolling past this video and wonder what took so long. If you want the next step, how to land your first paying client inside the next 7 days, that video's linked right here. Subscribe if you're serious about building real income on your own terms. I'll see you in the next one.